Welcome everybody back to the Real Estate Machine Show, another special episode. John Ribic here with Rimeco Products out of Willoughby, Ohio. John, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks, Chris. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, the format of this show is to kind of get to know you, get to know your company. Talk about some challenges, what's coming up for Rimeco, and then we'll finish off with the final question related to owning or leasing your property. So, John, I'll let you just kind of take it away. We'll keep this as conversational as we can, but take a minute and introduce yourself to the audience and give a little company history and maybe how you got your start in the business as well.
Okay. Company was founded in 1992. My uncle and my father founded after selling their first machine shop. They had thought they were going to get out of machining, so they started Rimeco with the idea that they would be selling medical equipment, and that's where the name came from, was Ribic Medical Company. But after spending 5 years working in that and doing some other odd things, they got back to what they're best at, and that's CNC machining. So in '96, they bought a couple CNC machines. My cousin and I joined the company in '97. I graduated from Ohio State in '96 and joined the company in '97. I've been here ever since, so about 25 years. I'm now the president of the company. We CNC machine shop, and we specialize in making aircraft engine components. Most of the components that we make are going to go into air and fluid conveyance tubing assemblies. They carry the gas and the oil and the air around the engine to make it able to fly and cool it down where needed. Mm-hmm. So business was been pretty rocky over the last few years with COVID. It was going really well until 2020. Most of our business is commercial aerospace, so that really took a nosedive, but definitely coming back very strong. Now we're dealing with the same things that everybody else is, trying to hire, trying to get employees, train employees, and get back to the levels that we were at in 2019.
So how many guys are you running right now on the shop floor?
We have about 40 employees.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's an operation. That's an operation to not only to keep up with, but to, to find that talent to, plug those holes and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. In 2019, we were at about 65 employees.
Yeah.
So we took quite a loss of, it wasn't really a layoff or anything. We just weren't hiring people we were losing. And it's pretty crazy how fast, if you're not replacing, how quickly your numbers drop.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you find that the guys that are you kind of running, if you compare your 40 compared to the 65 that you were, have you seen any benefit to that? Meaning, maybe some of the guys that you lost were, maybe it was a blessing in disguise, or is it just, volume and you just got to get production done. So you need bodies in there and stuff like that. Like, what does that all look like?
Yeah, I mean, definitely in the beginning, there's always a few that, we have poor attendance and have a hard time getting here on time. And so those ones weren't too difficult to lose. We've been very fortunate to keep a lot of our higher level guys on board. The only thing the only problem with that is it distorts the cost of human resources as a percentage of sales. So that's a little higher than normal right now. But as we get some of the younger guys in, and then we start using our veterans to train our younger guys, it'll get that back into being normal. I definitely am happy that we were able to keep as many as we were.
Yeah, I've been through your facility, and do you have like a specific training program in place? I think I know, correct me if I'm wrong, you're kind of tied in or dialed into the community also for training, or for maybe some of the colleges and stuff like that, or the training institutes, or something that Lake County doing something specific that you're involved with?
Yeah, we use all the resources we can. So we're connected with our two trade schools, Auburn and Lakeshore Compact. Lakeshore Compact is a combination of Euclid, Mentor, Wycliffe, and Auburn has about 40 schools, I believe, that go to it. So we get some really good employees that come out of those high school programs. Unfortunately, there's just not a whole lot of them. There's about 40 a year that come out of both programs, and there's a lot of competition here. And
Yeah, I bet.
for those 40 employees. We're also, I'm on the board of AWT, Alliance for Working Together. It's an organization started by Roger Sustar of Freedon. And he started it because he saw 20 years ago that there was a huge drop in the amount of youth coming into manufacturing. During the 70s and 80s and even into the 90s, you had kids coming out of school, going to work at machine shops. Maybe they had a little bit of a trade school while they were in high school. Like when I was in high school, I had a couple of drafting classes, and I had a wood shop, and just things that hands-on learning trades. And a lot of those started to go away in the 90s and early 2000s. So most kids were just heading to college after high school, and that's pretty much what the high schools were preparing for. So he saw that and decided to just create this organization that would show our youth the benefits of manufacturing and the benefits of a good career that's available in manufacturing. So we get high schools and even elementary schools. We've had elementary school teachers here to tour our facility just to learn about CNC. And
that's cool. Yeah.
Understand, like, try to get their kids interested and show them all the different things that, as they go into middle school and into high school, that there is a ton of opportunities if they decide not to go to college right out of high school. So it's, we're working on it. We're still, it's a long process to try, but a lot of progress is made. AWT has an apprenticeship program for teaching incumbent workers. So we have one employee that's in the program right now. He's going to be starting his third year, and the goal is to try to bring young adults into Rimeco, get their feet wet in manufacturing, and then put them into that apprenticeship program so that they can grow. And at the end of 4 years, they get a journeyman card. So they're, an actual setup programmer, CNC machinist.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Now, did you grow up on the shop floor? Being that your dad and your uncle, had the businesses.
I worked a little bit, but not as much as my dad. I guess he, like a lot of our parents, he just wanted me to go to college and wanted me to do something a little different than what he had. He knew that he was in the process of selling that company when I was in high school, when I was getting ready to graduate. So I didn't spend as much time. It wasn't until after college, trying to decide what I wanted to do, go to graduate school or do something else. And, I started working with him, and, I always enjoyed hands-on work. I always enjoyed the drafting classes I took. So it was a good fit.
Nice. That worked out. So what do you see for the future? Not necessarily for manufacturing as a whole, but for your company specifically.
I think I was just telling her we do a bi-weekly meeting with all employees, and it's just talking to them about, I think aerospace is in for a very prolonged upswing in manufacturing. There's this 3-year period of reduced production and reduced airplanes is just created a hole, I think, that they're going to be trying to catch up with for many years to come. I even told our guys probably about a decade before, bar anything catastrophic from happening. It's just we have a lot to get back. We have a lot to get caught up with where we were in 2019. I mean, literally, I think the industry as a whole, can you imagine a period of no cars being made for like 3 years? That's
Right.
what the aerospace industry was like. The 737 Max they really weren't making them for almost a year and a half, 2 years. Like no planes coming out. So it's going to take a lot to get caught back up to those levels again. And so I think the business in general is going to be really good. I think we should see many years of growth and you know, good things.
Awesome. Yeah, you sounds like you picked yourself there, or the guys picked themselves a nice niche to be in.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice niche. It's I mean, for one, aerospace in general, it requires a lot of extra certifications. We've got 6 full-time quality control people, and a company of 40. It's a pretty high percentage, but it's needed because every is it's got to be exactly the same as the last part. Every part's going on an airplane, and it's responsible for carrying the fuel around the engine. So it's very important stuff.
High tech. Very cool, very cool. So we can end now with the final question. And I like to tether in a little real estate to my shows here. And so your building where you're at in Willoughby, do you own it or do you lease it?
We own it.
You did. Very good. But now, was that a strategic thing? Was that an old school kind of thing? I know our parents are, a little old fashioned when it comes to, gotta own. And there's a multitude of benefits to owning. There's also benefits to leasing. So I'm just curious on what your position is on owning versus leasing.
Yeah, so my dad and my uncles owned the last building we were in, and we really just moved right down the street. We needed to expand, and we had an opportunity here. The building that we're in is actually quite larger than what we need, so we lease out about a third of it to another neighbor of ours. But like you said, it's good to own something. It's good, for many years to come. We own it through an LLC, and then the company pays us rent, and just a nice income stream.
Ton of benefits to it, and you're building equity and you're paying yourself. So I mean, it all makes sense. Plus, if you have to expand, you just expand into your own space.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. All right, John. Well, listen, appreciate you. I hope you can share this out to your people and your influence out there. It's been a pleasure working with you. We've done some work over the years, and listen, I'm glad that we got a chance to do this. Have a great new year, and all the best to you in 2023 and to come.
Thanks, Chris. Happy New Year. Thanks for
All
having
right,
me.
buddy. You got it. Talk soon.